What's up, everybody? My name is Jason, and welcome to Breaking News. Eidl loan increases approved and funded double in August. It is Thursday, August the 12th, 2021. Please do me a huge favor, give this video a thumbs up, hashtag Eidl in the comments below, and I would like to thank everyone who's joined me on Twitter at TrySmallBiz. It's at TrySmallBiz, username SmallBizInc, where I'm fighting day and night and day to get you and your family the money that you deserve. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I have fantastic news. Based on a poll with over 1,200 votes, backing up what I've seen in the last 72 hours on our comments in my inbox, holy shit, we have twice as many people in the last 2 weeks that have gotten funded, going from only 15% approved and funded just 2 weeks ago to over 30%. And what letter did I just send to over 600 senators, congressmen, and women to get you more 24 months of working capital with $2 million caps, PPP, and let us not forget those restaurant tours. So ladies and gentlemen, pull up a chair, grab a cup of coffee, ice cold beer, glass of wine. Here we go. All right, I hope everyone's having a fantastic day. Tomorrow's Friday, TGIF, right? This is the pre-TGIF video, and I've got some fantastic news. Pinned on the top of Twitter and, of course, on the community wall of YouTube is a poll that's only a couple hours old. We have almost 1,400 votes. Thank you very much. On YouTube, it is as follows. Where do you stand with respect to 24 months of working capital? Applied, no answer yet, 24%. Approved but not funded yet, 8%. Approved and funded on YouTube, 24%. Declined and in reconsideration, 44%. Again, over 1,200 votes on YouTube. Over on Twitter, much less than that, of course. Applied with no answer yet, 24%. Approved but not funded yet, 5%. Approved and funded, get this, 27%. And decline in recons, 44%. So almost identical, with the exception that YouTube has more approved and funded than Twitter does by about 3 or 4%. But here's the deal. In simple terms, I have the same poll, and Ryder's been running with me on this. In fact, with more polls in the last 30 days, I was at 14.5%, 15%. It's now 31, 32%, ladies and gentlemen. The amount of people on this channel, on this profile of Twitter, that have gotten their money and or have been approved and are waiting for the money in the next 7 to 10 days, it's more than doubled. So I'm asking everybody, like I did yesterday, if you have gotten funded, whether it's for the targeted Eidl advance or in this case in particular, 24 months of working capital, the Eidl loan increase, if you've gotten your money in the last 30 days, please pipe up in the comments. It helps with morale. Almost 80% of you are going to get your money by October the 1st. And I'm going to explain exactly why that is absolutely positively on track. But I need people to pipe up. A lot of people have disappeared, right? 80% of the channel has checked out. Max Maher, God bless him, has got over 300,000 followers or subscribers on YouTube. 80% plus, they've checked out. Many people gave up, but more importantly, ones that got their money, they just disappear. The ones that are still here right now, they're the OGs. They're either waiting for their money or they're sticking around. God bless each and every single one of you to give moral support to those who are hanging on by their fingernails. So again, if you got money in the last 30 days or so, what happened? Did you go through reconsideration? If so, how long? How many hoops did you have to jump through? And which ones? It helps with morale. So please do me a favor and tell me. And if you're waiting, like about 40% are, what's your situation in reconsideration? All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you just do the math, and it's very simple. If you've got 24% that are waiting, and as I said last night, our source inside the Office of Capital Acess at the SBA said yesterday, they have fewer than 200,000 applications to review. Remember that number, that backlog was 600,000 just 2 weeks ago. They're still reviewing 35 to, in some cases, 40,000 applications a day. The loan officers in that division have a quota of 16 applications that they must review each and every single day. So if you just do the math, sometime Tuesday or Wednesday morning at the latest, they're going to finish everybody. So if by the end of next week, you do not hear with respect to your loan, I'm not talking about those that are in reconsideration, more on that in a second. But if you're in this backlog and you haven't heard from anybody in the last several months, if you don't get a response from someone by Friday of next week, there's a problem. You're lost in space. And I'm sure there's going to be some of those that got the you're not interested due to lack of interest, or you had a loan officer that quit. We got 2 or 3 people this morning that emailed me that couldn't get an answer as to why they hadn't heard from the SBA in 2 months. Their loan officer quit. And if someone's not there to grab your file when someone walks out the door, I got to believe there's probably 50,000 or thereabouts applications that are just being abandoned. So you have to stay on top. As I've said a million times, call twice a week, Monday and Thursday or Tuesday and Friday. Try to get to a supervisor and patiently but professionally tell them, hey, I applied for this 3 months ago. I think my loan officer's gone. Can you please tell me who's in charge of my account now, etc., etc. So here's the deal. If we have 32 or 3% that have already been approved and or funded, and you've got 45% or thereabouts that are in reconsideration, if they get through everyone, let's say by the end of next week that's in the backlog, that's going to leave about 40% of you that are in reconsideration because you were declined. That process now is taking between 2 and 3 months. So if you've been in reconsideration now for more than 3 months, there's a problem with your account. It should not take more than 3 months. That means you're potentially fraudulent, although that's not the case with most of you that are watching me right now. There's a problem with your account. You're on a do not pay list. Your loan officer got fired or quit or reassigned. There's a problem. It should not take more than 90 days. So at that point, you got to call twice a week. You got to get a hold of a supervisor. You got to get your senators, congressmen, and women to send you that privacy release form, even if it's for the second or the third time. But most of you, in the course of the next 30 to 45 days that are in reconsideration, you're going to get your money, which is going to leave, in my opinion, as I said before, by October the 1st, 75 to 80% of you are going to have gotten your money, whether it's for the Eidl increase or you're coming out of recons in the next 6 or 7 weeks. So yes, about 20 or 25% of you are going to be gnawing my ear off come October the 2nd saying, well, I thought you said I was going to have your money. Yeah, I said about 75 or 80% of you. So I would like to say thank you to the SBA and more importantly, the hardworking loan officers and their support staff in the Office of Capital Acess. They are reviewing 20 times as many applications and funding 10 times as many in terms of speed as they were under the prior outfit. So yes, if you're hanging on by your fingernails, do not let go. Stay tuned to this channel. Of course, you've got Speak and See, Ryder, Max, Builder. You know who they are. Stephen Carlson. We're doing our best to keep you in the game, but most of you, 75 or 80% are going to get your money on or before October the 1st. All right, what letter in closing did I just send off? As I alluded to on Twitter, I am sending this in the process of all of Congress. There's over 500. Then you've got 100 senators, and I've got some contacts in and around the mass media, Stacey Cowley, etc. You know, Nate Morabito, blah, blah, blah. Patrick Terpstra, of course. I've got a proposition. This doesn't guarantee that we're going to get this. But what I've learned over the course of the last year, because I've sent a lot of my videos to several senators and been blocked by some, right? Marco Polo? Marco Polo hates my guts, in case you haven't heard that before. He doesn't like that I call him Marco Polo, so I hear from one of his staff members, but he will never communicate with me. He blocked me probably 8 months ago. I think he's absolutely worthless, although Ben Cardin, who took over as chairman of the Senate Committee for Small Biz, he's barely, if any, better than Marco Polo was. So what I've learned is, are you staying with me? What I've learned is about a third of the emails will get opened and read by a staff member. So that's about 150 plus senators, congressmen, and women, their staff in particular, which will read this proposal. 1/3 have the canned, automated, no reply bullshit. I don't think they read anything. I won't name names. I'd like to, right, Mitch McConnell, Darth Vader? I won't name names on, they don't give a, he doesn't give a flying fuck about you or your small business. It's tumbleweed through the desert. Don't get me started on Mitch McConnell. He's worthless. Chuck Schumer, I actually think he's better. And I've got many reasons for that. But you got a third that'll open, and it has nothing to do with politics. A third that open and engage to some degree. 1/3 that will never pay attention to anything. And then about 1/3 that think I should be locked up and have either blocked me, and there's about 17 or 18% by now that have blocked me. So we're counting on, out of those 150, or about a third of the total members of Congress are going to get their arms around this. The SBA still has, even after the $31 billion that John Cornyn stole in his amendment crusade and then voted no. That's how much of a scumbag John Cornyn is, Republican in Texas, and it has nothing to do with politics. He's one of the co-sponsors of S513 that was supposed to get you and your family, regardless of where you live, 10 grand regardless of size, location, or credit score. He guts the Eidl program of $31 billion, and then he votes no on the fucking infrastructure bill. So he takes away all the money and then says, nah, I don't think so. Dirtbag 101. But there is still, even after that, $225 billion of unspent EIDL funds. And what I've noticed in the last, let's call it a week, there is major interest around reallocation, right? Blaine Luettenmeyer proposed $60 billion in the House for the Entree Act. You saw Ben Cardin in the Senate begging and pleading in some degree. Is that what it was? Was it begging and pleading, or was it groveling? It was ineffective. Let's just say it that way, before Rand Paul said, I don't think so. He was asking for $48 billion in the Senate. They're not asking for new checks to be written. That giant pile of $250 billion or thereabouts, they're trying to skim off. So I am writing a letter that states, simply put, of the $225 billion of unspent Eidl that's still remaining, I suggest $48 billion for the Restaurant Revitalization Fund, $50 billion more for PPP. In the letter, I'm putting 50 employees or less. They may want to knock it down to 10, but I'm saying instead of the 300 plus, I'm sorry to you large over 50, the smaller of the small, the little guy and gal, they need help desperately. We want $50 billion of PPP. And then instead of $15 billion, which is S513, I asked them for $25 billion. The average grant size of the targeted Eidl advance is $8,000. So people got $2,000 the first go round. They're getting an average of $8 now. Well, if you do 3 million people times 8,000, that's $24 billion. So I asked them to reappropriate $25 billion into the Eidl grant program. Now, are they going to make us go through a 30 or a 50% economic loss? Maybe. I'm suggesting in the letter that this is the old Eidl grant, regardless of size, location, or credit score. Get rid of the delay of the economic loss and what side of the fucking tracks that you live on. And that would still leave, as per $2 million loan caps, Miss Isabel Guzman, somewhere between $100 and $125 billion for the Eidl loan increase. So until next time, ladies and gentlemen, in under 13 minutes, always remember that I love each and every single one of you. I'm never going to stop fighting on your behalf. And thanks so much for watching.